You're about to see some incredible hidden gems available on Hulu Plus, from fantastic movies and thrillers across different genres to series that will leave you laughing with glee. Here are 13 hidden gems available to stream on Hulu. First up is Dealing with Idiots. Our first hidden gem is about a washed-up comedian named Max Morris. He is a comic and a filmmaker in the movie and has a lot of trouble coming up with a decent script for his new film. So to fix the problem, he chose to become an assistant coach to his son's football team in hopes of getting inspiration. And chaos exudes. Get ready for the weird type of comedy that only actor-director Jeff Garlin can provide. Dealing with Idiots is funny and witty with great performances from Bob Odenkirk and JB Smoove. Now, if you're looking for a nice coming-of-age series, you should definitely check out Dollface. It follows the young Jules, who in the first season gets dumped by her longtime boyfriend in a rather abrupt manner. Poor Jules, in an attempt to take control of her life once more, decides to reconnect with all of her old girlfriends from college. The series basically follows Jules as she tries to reinsert herself into the world of strong, independent women, and it highlights all the drama that comes with that decision. Dollface is a cool feminist drama and well worth the watch if you're interested and that sort of thing. Now, when I saw that Lamorne Morris from New Girl was the main star of Woke, I was like, yeah, sign me up. I came and expected a nice comedy with some decent laughs. Instead, I got a crazy but well-layered story of racism and the outright struggles of what it means to be a woke black man. Woke tells the story of Heathkeith, a cartoonist who does his best not to lean into the controversy, only he gets assaulted by the police, and now he's traumatized by the apparent racism all around him. So he has to find a way to deal with it through his work as he slowly goes insane because random objects start talking to him. Told you, it's crazy. It's insanely funny if you can handle that type of comedy. So yeah, definitely check out Woke if you want a good comedy that tackles these really big topics. So far, we've talked about a few comedies on Hulu. 12 Hour Shift is our first horror film on the list. For starters, this movie does not pull its punches. It goes right down to the gore. The plot follows Mandy, who is a drug-addicted nurse who pays for her addiction by being part of an organ trafficking ring, and her cousin Regina, who she brought into the fold. The problem ensues when Regina misplaces a cooler with a harvested kidney meant to be delivered to a very dangerous guy. Now, Regina spends a 12-hour shift trying to find a new kidney or else she'll lose hers. I can't tell you how many times this movie surprised me as I saw a supposed innocuous woman do some of the most dangerous and heinous crimes. It was really fun to watch. Now, what do you get when you combine a good coming-of-age story with a spontaneous explosion? You get this fabulous movie, Spontaneous. The movie follows a group of teenagers who go to school where students start to spontaneously explode, and they have to live their lives with that knowledge. It's a plot that really sneaks up on you because it's so creative. The movie goes deep about finding meaning and beauty in life, especially with the duration that we have. It's a message that I appreciate, but at the same time, it's kind of hard to explain how I felt watching this movie. The movie had me genuinely horrified at the idea of one or even all of the main characters suddenly exploding. And let me tell you, that really helped to increase the tension. Now, this is an oldie, but it's a goodie. Cashback follows Ben, a guy with vivid imagination who got dumped by his girlfriend. So he develops a severe case of insomnia where he can go days without sleeping. He decides to use his free time to work at a grocery store, during which he lets his imagination run wild as he tries to deal with his issues and find love again. Ben does rather racy things with his imagination that I'll probably get in trouble for if I say too much about it. Just know that the movie is heavily rated R, and there are a lot of scenes in there that are definitely not for a young audience. All right, so let's talk about big time adolescence. You know a movie's gonna be crazy when it has Pete Davidson and Machine Gun Kelly. This is another coming of age story about young Mo Harris, a shy teenager who has an older friend, Zeke, who is a really bad influence on him. The movie is basically about how Zeke mentors Mo on growing up and getting girls, as well as encouraging him to sell weed on the side. It's a Pete Davidson movie, guys, so of course there'll be weed, right? What did you expect? Still, the movie is extremely funny with some relationship drama and an overall great performance from Pete Davidson. All right, let's talk about Futurama. Well, Fox thought that they could cancel one of the best animated comedies, didn't they? But Hulu brought it back. Thank you, Hulu. If you're not familiar with Futurama, then you'll be in for a wild ride, literally. The show follows the adventures of Philip J. Fry, a delivery boy who got accidentally frozen in a cryopod, only to get reawakened in the year 3000. Fry joins a delivery company from his distant relative, and he and the crew go on very silly adventures together. Trust me, guys, this series series is packed with laughs and a lot of heartfelt moments, which is expected because it was created by Matt Groening, creator of The Simpsons. Now, if you're looking for a classic Western adventure, then you're going to love The Kid. It's one of those movies that just draws you in with the story and the characters. The story is about Rio Coulter, a young, audacious young man who murders his abusive father in an attempt to save his mother. This sends him on the run because of his father's brother, or his uncle, is a very dangerous man and he wants revenge. There's a ton of great Western action, some nice gun battles, horse riding, and fantastic Western music that just fills you with joy. What's not to love? Coming in next is Thinner. You know a movie's gonna be crazy when it's based on a Stephen King novel. This movie is really old, so you might have to dig deep into the crevices of Hulu to fish it out. The movie is about an overweight Billy who gets cursed by an enraged man to lose his weight unconventionally. This eventually becomes a life-threatening condition, and Billy is forced to seek out the man to lift the curse, only the consequences of lifting the curse are extremely dire. This is honestly a Stephen King classic, and you'll understand the appeal once you watch it. Don't even mind the aesthetic or the pacing of the movie. It's a movie that has aged well, and it's still a great watch. Now, what starts a nice romantic movie suddenly turns into what I call a surprising rise of horror. Fresh offers a fresh perspective into the woes of modern dating. Young lady Noah goes on a weekend getaway with Steve, only to find out that Steve is a cannibal who eats and sells human meat to wealthy people who prefer the taste of young women. This movie literally sent chills down my spine. I mean, it's not every day that you see Sebastian Stan harvesting a woman's buttock. Safe to say this movie is not for everyone, but it is definitely a good watch. Now, if you're looking for a rather strange comedy, In a World definitely does its best to deliver on that front. In a World is all about Carol, an unsuccessful voice coach who lands a voiceover gig for a major movie production. Only she has to compete with her father and his student for the job. The movie brings a lot of insight into the unseen competition that exists in the voiceover world. I mean, you might not think that voiceover actors are a big deal until you watch this movie. There's a fair bit of laughs, drama, and a little bit of romance, so it's definitely worth seeing in my opinion. Now in Pig, Nicolas Cage really brought his A game in this movie. It's not an exaggeration when I say that this might be one of the best Nicolas Cage movies I've seen in a while, and I absolutely love it. The movie is basically John Wick for pigs instead of a dog. In the movie, Nick plays a truffle forager whose pig gets kidnapped, so he has to find his missing pig by enlisting the help of some friends and going on a rather bloody adventure. Nick Cage's performance is breathtaking in this movie. It's definitely some of his best work in years. So these are some hidden gems available on Hulu Plus. Let me know what you think about them in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button as you support our channel. Thanks so much again, guys, for watching Cinema Cascade.